In this world, no guide can resist an S-level Sentinel's bonding heat. A guide can only end up as a mere tool, especially with a man who has never undergone any mental channeling. An S-level Sentinel. At this moment, he seemed ready to strip the long-haired beauty's skin, crush the bones, and devour them completely. Bai Yusheng returned home after work. The moment I opened the door, I ran into a Sentinel who was completely unconscious. The man, currently in a coma, was unknowingly releasing a strong scent of pheromones. Why is Ji Shuyan here? Didn't the news say he had eliminated the source of pollution? How could he be so badly injured? I realized his mind was already on the verge of collapse. Bai Yusheng lived by the principle that avoiding trouble was always better. He would finally manage to find a place to settle down in the central district. It was best for him not to get involved in this kind of trouble. Suddenly, a chubby little figure appeared at the doorway. Brother, you are back, Tilda. Be good, Shishi Tilda. Go back inside and get some sleep. Bai Yusheng coaxed softly in a gentle tone. After successfully sending his younger sister away, Bai Yusheng felt a bit troubled. If he ignored it, given Ji Shuyan's current state, he would not just collapse. He might even become a source of contamination. If an S-class Sentinel lost control, the entire district would be doomed. Even if it is just for Shishi's sake, he still could not leave him here. Ah, how many pounds is this guy? So heavy. Just a few meters and he is already exhausted. He takes off his baseball cap. His long, flowing hair falls loose instantly. Threads of pheromones drift from Bai Yusheng's body, slowly blending with the man's. Even through the gloves, his body feels so hot. Under the dim, hazy light, Bai Yusheng carefully worked to stop the man's bleeding, but he soon realized it would not stop at all. After a brief moment of hesitation, it seemed he made a solemn decision. At the instant he took off his gloves, his pheromones burst out, no weaker than those of an S-level Sentinel. He performed only the most basic mental soothing, and withdrew once the bleeding stopped. The moment my palm touched the wound, Bai Yusheng vaguely saw into the man's spiritual world. It was nothing but ruins. Ji Shuyan, your life has been far too miserable. Have you been enduring it all this time? The wounds are healing. A trace of sorrow flickered in Bai Yusheng's eyes. He is on the verge of collapse. Is this how a captain should be? The space trembled violently. A surge of pheromones poured out like a tide, instantly wrapping around Bai Yusheng so tightly it nearly suffocated him. The next moment, a strong hand gripped him firmly. So hot. His body temperature's even higher than before. Bai Yu shouted in panic. Ji Shuyan, snap out of it. Damn it, why is my body starting to ache? Bai Yusheng prayed silently that Ji Shuyan would stop releasing his pheromones. Just then, the man suddenly opened his eyes. Crimson pupils filled with madness and loss of control. His large hand clamped down on Bai Yusheng's wrist like an iron vice. The grip grew tighter, as if to drag him over. A shudder burst from the soles of his feet. Bai Yusheng shuddered all over. Something's wrong. This feeling is unmistakable. His jaw was gripped roughly. Scorching breath swept over his face. Bai Yusheng panicked and struggled. Ji Shuyan, how could you possibly? No, I have to get out of here fast, or the consequences will be unthinkable. But he was not given even half a second to think. His lips were suddenly sealed by scorching heat. Bai Yusheng used all his strength to slap the man in the face. He almost crawled and stumbled in his desperate attempt to escape, but after just a few steps, his ankle was seized by Sansan. Then a heavy force suddenly pressed down, pinning him firmly to the spot. Bai Yusheng let out a pleading whimper. A sentinel who has lost all reason, with nothing in his eyes but paranoia and possession. His prey. He will never let go easily. He desperately pushes away the sentinel in front of him. Ji Shuyan, are not you the hero who saves humanity? Snap out of it. Suddenly, a tender cry of brother shatters the intimate atmosphere in the room. The noise was so loud it woke Shishi up. Bai Yusheng panicked for a moment. That gave the man a chance to keep going. Right now, he could not think about resisting. Bai Yusheng quickly soothed his sister inside the room to go back to sleep. In that brief distraction, the sentinel's mental power surged like a tidal wave, and completely drowned him. A mentally unstable sentinel. There is no guide in this world. Who can resist the heat of fusion from an S-class sentinel? In front of a sentinel, a guide becomes nothing but a mere tool, endlessly used, especially someone like Ji Shuyan. Right now, it is as if he wants to flay Bai Yusheng alive. Rustling clothes echoed in the cramped space. Then came a burst of unstoppable speed. Something was sucking greedily. Like molten lava surging into every limb and bone. It made one want to escape. Yet unable to hate it. Bai Yusheng's cry was stuck in his throat. Why must guides be forced to endure all this? The two sped on, not knowing how much time had passed. The man slowly opens his drowsy eyes. Suddenly, he sees a long-haired beauty lying on his chest. The fiery, rapid scenes from last night instantly flood his mind. Ji Shuyan recalls that yesterday, while clearing out a source of contamination, he encountered a mutated pollutant. Then he was seriously injured. Was it him who saved me? He is a guide. The wound actually healed. How is that possible? Just as the man was lost in thought, the sleeping beauty suddenly lifted her head. Then she abruptly stood up and shouted angrily, Ji Shuyan, get out. The man calmly pulled on his pants without haste. I want to talk to you. Bai Yusheng just wanted to make him get out quickly, but the sentinel kept pressing closer, step by step. Who are you? Hearing that, Bai Yusheng fell silent for a moment. Then he chose to avoid answering. Ji Shuyan, I do not want to have anything to do with you. I will forget everything that happened last night. The sentinel trapped him with a sudden wall slam right in front of him. Don't you hate guides the most? Throw me away like you would toss out garbage. I am begging you. A flicker of doubt passed through Ji Shuyan's indifferent eyes. But I have realized I do not hate you. He pulled that slender figure into his arms. His voice was hoarse, laced with a trace of satisfaction. There is still one more thing I need your help with, but I am not your guide. Suddenly, the door lock clicked. Bai Yusheng's pupils trembled. Both Nan looked toward the bedroom door. They saw little Cutie rubbing her sleepy eyes and calling out, "Good morning, brother Tilda." Just before little Cutie could see her clearly, the naked Bai Yusheng hurriedly hid behind the man. Bai Yuxi looked doubtfully at the tall figure before her. Who is this uncle? Her brother had never brought anyone home before. Ziyu broke out in a nervous cold sweat. He hastily made up an excuse. This uncle is here to deliver a package." The innocent little Cutie looked up at the man with sparkling eyes. "Oh, it is the delivery guy Tilda." At those words, the man's gaze swept past like a hawk. Bai Yusheng thought to himself in embarrassment. He is the older brother, and I am the uncle. Different generations. Suddenly, without warning, he turned around. He wrapped an arm around the person's waist and lifted him up. The sudden movement startled Bai Yusheng, making him shiver. But thinking of his innocent little sister beside him, he could only grit his teeth and endure it. He must not let Shishi see him like this. Then the man, facing away from the little girl, spoke up. "Little sister, I am not a delivery guy. I am a doctor here to give your brother a checkup. Now I need to take him to his room." "Which one is your brother's bedroom?" The little sweetheart panicked the moment she heard her brother was sick. Her tiny hands hurriedly pointed the man in the right direction. She obediently listened to him and ran off to wash her face and brush her teeth. After sending away the third wheel, the man swaggered forward with the beauty in his arms. Seeing her struggle fiercely, he deliberately stopped at the bathroom door. His tone carried a hint of threat. "Do you want your sister to see you like this? Naked like this?" Hearing that, Bai Yusheng immediately stopped struggling, and urged him to leave quickly. But the sentinel acted as if he had not heard. Calmly, he carried him back to the bedroom, and tossed him onto the bed. Bai Yusheng grabbed the blanket and wrapped himself tightly. "Please, leave my house." The tall sentinel spoke from above, his voice steady and powerful. "You know me. You should know that ever since I differentiated into a sentinel, I have never received a guide's calibration. I have been relying on drugs to stay sane. Everyone around me thinks I am on the verge of breaking down. And honestly, they are right. When I return to the tower, the doctor will definitely examine my mental body. By then, they will discover your pheromones lingering on me. You have not registered your identity with the tower, have you? But they can still track you using guide scent." The sentinel's certain tone made the helpless, beautiful guide shudder. "Please, let me go. There are still many sentinels in the tower. Once exposed, you and your sister will both be taken away. Just how many sentinels will your physique drive mad for you?" The beauty bristled in anger. "I saved you. You should not treat me like this." The man suddenly leaned down. Warm breath brushed against his nose. It carried an undeniable pressure. "You should not have saved me." Before the words faded, he gripped the back of the other's head. The kiss struck like a sudden storm. Bai Yusheng tried to push him away but could not move an inch. Then, in despair, he gave up resisting, until he was left breathless. Only then did the sentinel reluctantly step back. In his eyes surged a possessive, obsessive desire for battle. "Only I can protect you." His long hair hid his expression. The guide, with no way to escape, spoke in a hoarse, dry voice. "I do not have a choice." "Do I?" Silence spread between them, until Bai Yusheng suddenly looked up. Flames of desperate resolve burned in his eyes. "Can you protect Shishi?" Ji Shuyan's throat moved as he swallowed. His tone carried an unquestionable authority. "As long as you behave, both you and she will be safe. No one dares to take the guide I want." The sentinel's promise struck like a heavy hammer on the heart. The beautiful guide lowered her head. Her voice was as soft as a sigh. "From now on, I belong to you. Could you wait for me in the living room?" Getting the answer he wanted, the man stood up at once. He had just closed the door when a soft, sweet uncle pulled Ji Shuyan's thoughts back. The little cutie asked him with concern, "What illness does brother have? Is it serious?" Ji Shuyan walked up to the little cutie and crouched down. "Call me brother." "Oh no." Bai Yuxi's little body trembled. "But you look more like an uncle." Ji Shuyan was speechless. Ask him how old his brother is. He thought to himself they should be about the same age. White Yuxi proudly put his hands on his hips and replied, 27 years old. "But all the neighborhood grannies say, my brother looks just like a high schooler Tilda." Ji Shuyan's lips twitched when he heard that. 27 is older than he is. So why is he the uncle? As revenge, he told Bai Yuxi, "A cruel piece of news. We are moving. Go pack your luggage. Your brother has already agreed to live with me." Shishi's young heart was instantly struck as if by a collapsing sky. Then she turned around, covered her mouth, and muttered softly, "No way, no way Tilda. Uncle, so you are actually my brother's wifey, ha 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 Tilda." Ji Shuyan was utterly exasperated by her calling him uncle. "I told you to call me brother. Besides, no matter how you see it, I could not possibly be in the role of a wife, right?" Just as the tall one and the short one were locked in a subtle standoff, the door clicked softly. Then, the newly refreshed beauty guide walked gracefully out. Ji Shuyan narrowed his eyes. His gaze fell on that small, thin suitcase. Just these few things. The little cutie runs to her handsome brother to confirm. Did uncle say we are moving? An uncle nearby instantly bristles and corrects her. It is brother. The handsome guide bends down and gently embraces her. The little cutie nods lightly. Uncle said he will protect us. An uncle completely ignored by the siblings and unable to correct them. My head hurts, my head hurts. The Sentinel hurriedly brought the person back to the Central Defense Corps base, also known as the Sentinel's camp. All along the way, they were like moving spotlights, drawing countless onlookers to stop and stare. Curious eyes swept back and forth over them. Bai Yuxi looked like a frightened kitten. He clutched his stuffed toy tightly and followed close behind Bai Yusheng. He asked his brother in confusion, "Why are they all looking at us?" Ji Shuyan stopped in his tracks, suddenly turned his head, and swept his intimidating gaze across the crowd of gossiping onlookers. Then, in a commanding tone, he said to Bai Yusheng, "You are my exclusive guide now. No one here dares to touch you, relax." But unexpectedly, those words made the beautiful guide shiver all over. He widened his eyes, staring at the man in shock. Even Bai Yuxi, standing beside them, suddenly lifted his head and complained disdainfully, "Uncle, you are so greasy." When Ji Shuyan heard that word uncle, he felt a rush of blood surge straight to his head. The veins on his forehead twitched violently. Facing Bai Yuxi, his voice carried a trace of frustration and fury. "First of all, I am the older brother. I am trying to calm your brother down. I am a good person." A barrage of explanations fired like a machine gun, pattering down on the little cutie, whose big eyes were full of confusion and bewilderment. Talking reason with a child is like playing music to a cow. In the end, he gave up correcting and tossed out, "Whatever you want." Being held in public, Bai Yusheng felt extremely uncomfortable. He spoke softly, hinting for the Sentinel to let go. Ji Shuyan raised an eyebrow at the words. Right after, the beautiful guide's feet left the ground. The tall Sentinel scooped him up by the waist. Holding him felt unfamiliar. "Well, lifting you up in public should be fine then. You are so reluctant to be my guide." Seemingly catching the impatience in his tone, Yu Sheng wondered. Is he angry? But the one who should be angry is clearly me. Sensing the embarrassment of the person in his arms, Ji Shuyan said bluntly, "Once you realize you are my exclusive guide, you won't feel embarrassed anymore." Hearing that, Bai Yusheng murmured softly, "Knowing full well I would feel awkward. Did you think you were here on vacation?" After being snapped at like that, Bai Yusheng silently shut his mouth and said no more. So, under countless curious and gossipy gazes, the three swaggered past. Only Shishi was about to blow up like a little pufferfish. "Uncle's brain is not working right. He only bullies my brother. When I grow up, I will definitely take revenge for my brother." Suddenly, an arm stretched out, blocking their path. "Captain, where were you last night?" A pink-haired girl suddenly jumped out of nowhere, blocking the man's way. Ji Shuyan's voice was low and indifferent. Although Yan Ziyu was reluctant, he still stepped aside. Then he hastily said, "No one could reach you. Everyone thought you would turn into a contaminant out there. I even volunteered to lead the team to wipe you out." Yet the Sentinel ignored his endless chatter. The pink-haired guy, being ignored, suddenly noticed the little one beside him and got interested again. "Hee little girl can you tell big brother what happened last night? That handsome guy carrying the beauty was your brother, right?" A strikingly handsome face suddenly came into view. "Wow!" Bai Yuxi's eyes lit up as she exclaimed in amazement. "Big brother, you are so handsome. Your eyes are like gems, just like my brother's." Her words instantly struck a certain uncle in front right in the heart. He turned his head, expression dark and wary. "They get to be brother and big brother, and I am an uncle. Bai Yuxi, are you sure you did not call the wrong person?" Shishi muttered softly in reply. "Is there something wrong with that?" The pink-haired one grinned, showing a mouthful of bright white teeth. "Didn't expect the brawny captain to actually care about what others think." Hearing that, the muscular captain put the person in his arms down, and immediately shouted harshly, "Lieutenant Yan Ziyu, disciplinary punishment, 100 laps around the field. Set out immediately, no disobedience allowed." "Yes, sir." Yan Ziyu's voice was firm and powerful. He moved neatly and gave a perfectly standard military salute. Then he playfully winked at Bai Yuxi. "Sweetheart this big brother's being bullied by the old man Can't play with you now. Wait for me to finish my run. Then I will treat you and your brother to some snacks." "Okay." Shishi obediently said he had to ask his brother first. Okay he replied cutely. Then the little cutie ran off to ask, "Brother Beauty, is that okay?" Bai Yusheng gently rubbed his head. He agreed to go after they got familiar with the place. Only now did Yan Ziyu clearly see Bai Yusheng's face. A cry of astonishment welled up from deep inside him. What a true beauty. Suddenly, a tall figure blocked his view. "Lieutenant Yan Ziyu, why are you still here? Do you want to add another 100 laps?" Yan Ziyu did not dare linger another second. Yet the stunning face of that beautiful guide, but it was deeply imprinted in his mind. The smile at the corner of his lips grew stronger. What a beautiful little cat How could he resist sharing something so wonderful? Yan Ziyu walked around the playground, while calling to report the news. Brother Chi, the captain brought back an incredibly pretty little kitty. He disappeared in the middle of the night last night. It turns out he went to adopt a cat. Judging by your tone, you do not mean a literal cat, do you? Take a guess. No guessing, I am working right now. Yan Ziu's constant grumbling is so annoying. Everyone's such a workaholic. Our team is seriously so boring. Chi said he could transfer him to Team 2. The captain of Team 2 has always wanted an S-class Sentinel with mental control abilities. Yan Ziu hurriedly surrendered. I heard that black guy wrecked another S-class guide just last week. He is a total maniac. And he drags his team into the contamination zone every single day. He is like a tireless worker. Absolutely terrifying. Before hanging up, he grumbled angrily. Meet at the captain's dorm entrance in 15 minutes. If Brother Chi does not get to see that little kitten, he won't be able to sleep. And if he can't sleep, nobody else can either. Right now, the beautiful guide still has no idea that to the Sentinel before him, he is the only one. If it were not for the self-control he has developed over the years, they would still be making out and racing in a shipping container right now. The beautiful guide, with her younger sister, fought desperately to escape from hell, living cautiously, drifting from place to place, hiding for 3 whole years. When a dreamy big house appeared before their eyes, the little cutie immediately jumped with joy. Her big eyes glittered like stars, blinking excitedly, filled with affection and longing. Brother, will we really be able to live here in the future? Bai Yusheng looked at his sister's excited expression, hesitating to speak. It was obvious that Shishi really liked this place. If he told her what he was really thinking right now, would she be disappointed? After a long moment of hesitation, he made up his mind. He gave the little sweetheart a gentle smile. We will live here, Ji Shuyan told little cutie. She could pick any bedroom she liked. He looked at Bai Yusheng, who was not moving at all, and asked in confusion, why are not you picking one? Or maybe. Suddenly his body tilted forward. Bai Yusheng was caught in the man's arms. If you want to share a room with me, I do not mind. Have you always been this frivolous? Ji Shuyan's compatibility rate with all guides is 0%. Only Bai Yusheng is an exception. Since my differentiation, I have never experienced a 100% guidance. Do you know what that means? It means you are the only one who can pour into me the spring water of this desert. If not for the self-control he would develop over the years, the two of them would still be tangled up in that shipping container. Awu, little lightbulb cheered. I have made my choice. Uncle, are you bullying my brother again? Ji Shuyan could not be bothered to correct that uncle anymore. I am proposing to your brother. Does that look like bullying? Shishi was utterly shocked. The beautiful guide's face was suddenly full of disbelief. Your whole life belongs only to me. It is no different from marriage. Bai Yusheng had not expected his stalling tactic to take such a turn. He had to find a way to get out of here. Everyone here is abnormal. And suddenly, the pink-haired girl popped up again. This time, it is not just him. Su Yiki, S-class Sentinel. Captain, sorry I did not keep an eye on Ziyu. Ji Shuyan's gaze was indifferent. He ordered that Yan Ziyu could be transferred to Team 2. No, absolutely not. I am not going. I love Team 1. Bai Yusheng recognized that pink hair as belonging to the Sentinel from just now. Surprised in his heart that he had already run 100 laps, the pink-haired figure swept past the man like the wind and dashed toward the stairs. In the next moment, she was standing in front of the beautiful guide. She spread her arms, calling out warmly yet urgently, Kitty Tilda wait. Bai Yusheng froze on the spot, looking utterly confused. Kitty. Me. Before he could react, he was pulled into her embrace. Captain, Sentinels share good food with each other. We always share with one another. No keeping it to yourself, that is the rule. A guide who can resonate with the captain's mind must be the finest delicacy tilde. While speaking, Yan Ziyu reached for Bai Yusheng's glove and snatched it off while he was distracted. Such a beautiful little kitten tilde. Why do you wrap yourself up like that tilde? Excitement and thrill sparkled in Yan Ziyu's eyes. The moment their fingertips touched, a wave of unprecedented coolness and comfort, as if countless tiny ice crystals were flowing through his veins. All the fatigue in his body vanished instantly. Even the static noise in his spiritual sense disappeared without a trace. Before he could enjoy it for even a moment longer, Ji Shuyan rushed over to break up the three of them. Did I ever say I would share? Seeing his intense reaction, Su Yiki was stunned. Could it be that the captain brought back an S-level guide? But there are plenty of S-level guides in the defense unit, even if they are both S-level and compatible with the captain. What on earth is going on? Yan Ziyu collapsed onto the steps, feeling the lingering resonance still within me, filled with disbelief. Is this real? I just touched his hand. If I could guide it even further, what would that feel like? I did not expect the cat the captain brought back to be not only beautiful, but also so special. It is simply a miracle. Captain, you are really too much. Why did not you just die out there tilde? That way, this little kitten would be mine tilde. Hearing that, Bai Yusheng could not help feeling utterly confused. Aren't they on the same team? Su Yiki urged Yan Ziyu to hurry up and apologize to the captain. Yan Ziyu walked along leisurely. Chi, you have no idea how delicious that little kitten is. His mental compatibility rate is not just 100%, it is completely off the charts. 200, even 300 would not be an exaggeration. As a sentinel, you should know what that means. Hearing that, Su Yiki frowned deeply. His gaze fell on the captain he respected. Is that why you brought him back? Can he be your compatible guide? Ji Shuyan firmly shielded Bai Yusheng. I do not have time to answer your questions today. Everyone, out. What is that about? So boring. Selfish bastard. Yan Ziyu spoke with lazy disdain, yet could not help glancing again at that stunning face, silently grumbling in his heart. There is still plenty of time. Opportunities will come. Before leaving, Su Yiki told Ji Shuyan. The Haining Road contamination zone he cleaned yesterday still seemed a bit unusual. He would go back to check it again later, and report back if anything came up. The gate closed again. Bai Yusheng lowered her head and softly thanked the man. But he remained unusually silent. Bai Yusheng, you really are something. Just holding your hand makes me lose control. Feeling that searing heat in my abdomen, the beautiful guide instinctively struggled. Let go, Shishi is still upstairs. The sentinel's voice was hoarse. She has already gone back to her room. Then the back of my head was firmly held down by the sentinel. My pure spring. Tonight, let me sleep well again. The sentinel and the exhausted, fainted beauty of a guide fell asleep together in the bathtub. But because he was too fond of the guide's warmth, he forgot to turn off the tap, and ended up flooding the whole room. The little cutie who just woke up from the bedroom came over. She gasped in surprise at the sight. Wahaha. Uncle's bathroom has water we can step in. Every step of her bare feet made a puddle. The man, his face splashed all over with water, could not be read. The beauty guide nearby felt a pang in her heart. She hurried to plead for her younger sister. She is still young and does not know any better. Do not be upset. If Shishi offended you, I will apologize on her behalf. Please do not. Look, attack. Haha. The silent man suddenly raised his hand, and a splash of water landed right on the little cutie's face. What is going on? The beautiful guide was completely baffled. Watching the two of them, one big and one small, having a water fight. Suddenly, the doorbell started ringing like crazy. Open the door, Ji Shuyan, hurry up and open the door. Captain Gao Shu from Team 2 was pounding hard on the door, muttering curses under his breath, not a clean word among them. Hearing the noise, Bai Yusheng glanced outside. Someone's pressing the doorbell. Sounds pretty urgent, but behind him, in the bathroom, were a grown-up and a child. They were laughing and having a great time. He could not help but raise his voice to remind the man that someone was ringing the doorbell. But Ji Shuyan, caught up in the game, was arguing with a little kid who was not even as tall as his calf. The ignored guide sighed helplessly, then resignedly went downstairs to open the door. As soon as the door opened, a large, dark hand immediately reached in. The man stormed in, his face dark as ink. He started yelling before even seeing who it was. Ji Shuyan, are you baking a giant pancake or what? Why are not you opening the door? But the moment he saw who it was, the curse on his tongue was forced back down his throat. Bai Yusheng stared at the tall figure of the man before him. A sentinel. Well. Ji Shuyan's upstairs. The dark-skinned sentinel steps forward, closing in. Ji Shuyan never brings a guide back to his quarters. Are you new to the team? I have not seen you before. Just talking to a sentinel feels like being stared down by a fierce beast. Only an S-class has that kind of pressure. Suddenly, the living room rings out. Gao Shu, something up. The man leisurely walks downstairs. The dark-skinned guard strides forward and grabs him by the collar. He grits his teeth and says, "Did your damn bathroom explode? My place downstairs looks like a waterfall cave now. I have been ringing your doorbell forever. What is that supposed to mean?" The little cutie caught in his arms, frowning, muttering in dissatisfaction. The dark-skinned sentinel lowered his gaze. "Oh, who is this little one? Your illegitimate child." She trembled in fear at the sentinel's fierce expression. Ji Shuyan pulled her into his arms to comfort her. "You scared her. Keep your voice down." Gao Shu looked like he would just heard a joke. Who the hell goes on a mission scaring kids to tears all day? Ji Shuyan warned him not to keep swearing all the time. It will be a bad influence on the kids. What the hell are you doing? A guide and a kid. Last time you went into the contaminated zone your brain must have gotten fried. The dark-skinned sentinel said, then suddenly turned around. He grabbed Bai Yusheng's wrist. The words on his lips suddenly died away. This is the kind of powerful guidance and soothing only top-tier guides possess. His wrist was gripped so hard it hurt. Bai Yusheng struggled with all his might. Ji Shuyan's gaze was icy. "Take your filthy hands off my guide's wrist." Gao Shu frowned and questioned the man. "Has his case been reported? A guide of this level is public property." Ji Shuyan gently set little cutie down, then suddenly leaned forward, raised his hand and gripped the black-skinned sentinel's neck. His tone was cold and hard. "He is mine. Watch your mouth." The disputed guide was terrified at the scene. The grip on his neck loosened slightly. Gao Shu coughed violently a few times. "Ji Shuyan, are you sure you want to pick a fight with me here at the base?" Apologize to him. The man's gaze was sharp as a hawk. "Apologize to my exclusive guide. Watch your filthy mouth, damn it." Then the man shifted his tone and said to the little cutie, "Bai Yuxi, let us have a proper talk. What did you call that black dog?" The little cutie clearly had not realized what the real issue was. Sure enough, the next moment the man roughly squeezed her chubby cheeks. "Are you blind or what?" The overprotective, handsome guide instantly stepped in to defend his sister. "Why are you bullying a kid? You are older than me, you are the big brother. This black dog looks older than me, so he is the big brother." The sentinel says he has got a million objections. Oh dear, the little cutie suddenly got anxious. But the grown-ups are still busy arguing. At his level, things like exclusivity for a guide, it is not up to you to decide. The man's expression grew even colder. The little one who'd been ignored got all flustered. She tugged at the man's leg, trying to get his attention. She could not hold it in any longer. Seeing this, the beautiful guide quickly pulled her along. They ran toward the restroom on the first floor. The dark-skinned sentinel sneered. No wonder you brought him back. Looks like he is the only one so far. Who is compatible with you as a guide? Is it more effective than taking Y? Careful, you might get addicted. A hungry sentinel easily ends up with 3 guides. Ji Shuyan kept a blank face, signaling him to shut up and get lost. Even the strongest can be replaced. No wonder he is so unpopular around the base. Everyone's been sick of you for a long time. The strong are always envied. What, no one's jealous of you? Arg, this guy. The dark-skinned sentry flies into a rage. What the hell are you so proud of? Just then, the beautiful guide ran back with the cutie. The first-floor restroom has turned into a waterfall cave too. The toilet gurgled as water overflowed. The brother and sister stomped their feet in panic. Bai Yusheng asked the 2 opposing sentinels, "Is there any other bathroom?" The dorm downstairs for the dark-skinned sentinel had already turned into a waterfall cave. Suddenly, the front door banged open. A stunning pink-haired sentinel made a dazzling entrance. "Shishi, little sister, come to my place to use the bathroom." Awu Tilda. At this moment, the pink-haired girl's place in the little cutie's heart was second only to her own brother. "Hurry and run into your brother's arms." Bai Yusheng quickly followed. "Wait, I am coming with you." Seeing this, the man instinctively lifted his foot to chase after them, but was stopped by Hype raising his hand. "You are a little too obsessed with your guide, are not you? Didn't you see the message from above?" Ji Shuyan turned around and picked up his fallen phone. Only then did he notice the emergency notice posted in the group chat. The situation is unusually complex and requires further investigation, along with the latest report from teammate Suyiki. Gao Shu asked him, "Wasn't the contaminated zone already cleared by you? Do you know what that means?" Ji Shuyan told him. This time the contaminated zone did not reappear in the same place, nor is it residual. The new contaminated zone spread from a neighboring source. The dark-skinned sentinel was shocked. "Are you saying the contaminated zones overlapped, or that the source mutated? Are you sure?" Suyiki went to the site to investigate this morning. This is his preliminary conclusion. Ji Shuyan clearly remembered that he had eliminated that polluted zone along with the core. Up to now, there has never been a case where an adjacent area became a polluted zone. If this is really the case, then the patterns of the polluted zones have changed again. This is not something that can be solved by simple cleanup anymore. The irritable dark-skinned sentinel could not help but start cursing. He turned around and immediately ordered Team 2 to assemble for a meeting. Meanwhile, the little cutie, having finished her big life event, blushed and said shyly, "Sorry Tilda." The pink-haired one held a Yakult in her left hand and a Wang Wang milk drink in her right, and asked her, "Which one do you want?" Drooling a little, the little cutie shouted, "I want the Yakult Tilda. There are so many dolls in my brother's room. Shishi can go take a look." Seeing his little sister being lured away so easily, the guide felt frustrated and wanted to stop it, but the pink-haired one blocked the way with a smile. "Kitty Tilda, I want to talk to you Tilda." Talk. Bai Yusheng secretly thought to himself that even though they were both S-class sentinels, the sentinel before him had strong yet steady mental power. Although he did not seem intimidating, there was always a sense of discrepancy between appearance and reality. Yan Ziyu casually tossed away the empty drink carton. "Let us go talk over by the sofa Tilda." Bai Yusheng turned his body to avoid his touch. "Don't worry, I am wearing gloves. It is safe to touch. I know your constitution, little kitty. That is why I prepared this especially for you Tilda." But the beautiful guide does not want to interact with him much. "I would better take Shishi back first. I will come bother you again when there is a chance." Pink hair curls into a wanton smile. "As long as the captain is here, where else would we get such a good chance?" Bai Yusheng paused mid-step. "What? Sentinels are supposed to share delicacies with each other. That is the rule." Bai Yusheng's expression changed drastically. Instinctively, he turned around, opened his mouth to call Shishi to leave, but the other person suddenly covered his mouth. The beautiful guide's eyes revealed fear. "Is he trying to force me to guide him now?" Scorching heat splashes onto my shoulder. "Kitten, choose me Tilda. That Black Panther has taken too many knocks. It will lose control when it meets a matching guide. An S-class sentinel going berserk is terrifying." Yu Sheng suddenly felt his body lighten. He begged the sentinel to let him go. "I am not a member of the defense squad yet. You can't treat ordinary civilians like this. Holding a beautiful guide is like eating ice cream in summer. As refreshing as drinking an ice-cold cola Tilda. You are better than all the other guides." The petite figure was tightly restrained by the sentinel. The other party would not listen to a single word. The beautiful guide was at a complete loss for what to do. "You will join us. It is only a matter of time." The guide refused without hesitation. The pink-haired one's face suddenly turned cold. "Then you should not have agreed to come here with the captain in the first place. The defense squad are heroes who save the world, but they are also a kind of hell. Here, whether you are a sentinel or a guide, everyone is nothing more than a tool to fight against pollutants. Born in the morning, dead by night. So every second we are alive, we must do everything we can to make ourselves comfortable. Little kitty, this is my fate, your fate and everyone's fate." His body was pressed into the sofa. Bai Yusheng suddenly realized he could not move. The door was kicked open with a loud bang. The pink-haired man, about to commit something indecent, froze instantly. He turned to look at the doorway, where a man stood radiating a terrifying pressure. He thought to himself, "I am so screwed." Veins bulged on Ji Shuyan's forehead. "Who gave you the right to touch him?" Seeing that his rescue had arrived, the beautiful guide hurriedly pushed Yan Ziyu off her body. The king of hell strode forward, closing in. The pink-haired one trembled and backed away. Captain, just let me explain myself first. My approach may not follow protocol, but you can understand why I did it. Right. The tall sentinel drove the pink-haired one to a corner with nowhere left to retreat. Which hand and which part of your body touched him just now? Yan Ziyu broke into a sweat in an instant. Suddenly, light footsteps came from the living room. The little one was holding a rag doll in one hand. Bai Yusheng whispered a reminder. The furious man, rein yourself in. Don't scare Shishi. Ji Shuyan suppressed his anger. Yan Ziyu, you have got good luck today. He threw out a line and turned away. Oh my. I almost thought my life would end here. But the little cutie got a lesson instead. Bai Yuxi, all you do is play by yourself. Don't you care about your brother's hard work? The sister-protecting maniac comes online immediately. Shishi is still little. A pair of devilish claws reached out toward the dazed little cutie. I can buy you as many dolls as you want, but do not ever come into this room again. Shishi reluctantly looked at the discarded dolls and asked, Really, uncle? Must you call me uncle? Ji Shuyan gently took Bai Yusheng's hand and said softly, Come on, let us go home. His voice seemed to carry a kind of magical power. The warmth calmed Bai Yusheng's anxious heart little by little. The heat from the wrist felt like a stream of warmth slowly flowing into the heart. It was also like a silent promise. In this unfamiliar place, the siblings found a harbor they could rely on. Yan Ziyu watched the family of three leave. The room suddenly fell into silence. Ah, this food-protecting pup. It freezes the moment it sees a bone. The kitten is mine. The sentinel took the guide home and told him to change clothes, then go on a mission together. The guide was completely puzzled. Is there something wrong with a sentinel bringing a guide on a mission? But I have not even joined the defense team yet. I have already had someone send over the clothes you will be wearing. Go change into them. HMPH, this guy deliberately ignores what he says. The little one in his arms asks in confusion, Uncle, where are we going? Ji Shuyan takes off her shoes, then places them on the bed. If you do not go, then it will be just me and your brother. The little cutie refused to cooperate, then flopped over on all fours in protest. Why did not you take me? I want to go too. Once you have differentiated, I will think about it. Bai Yusheng was clearly uneasy about leaving Shishi alone at the base. Ji Shuyan said there is no need to worry. Someone will come to take care of her soon. Then handed the clothes over, signaling him to change into them. A hint of unease and anxiety colored Bai Yusheng's brow. You said, you would guarantee Shishi's and my safety. The sentinel's large hand gripped his wrist. If even I can't do that, then you can only pray to a god that does not exist. With the little cutie still here, the man starts getting handsy. While the guide was changing clothes, the sentinel lounged on the sofa, reading leisurely, until the sound of footsteps reached his ears. He lifted his eyelids. Wow, the beautiful guide never fails to impress. Every time he changes outfits. Bai Yusheng looked uneasy, stroking the bare skin exposed. The guide's scent quietly drifted out. The sentinel spoke, telling him to come over. What is he trying to do now? The sentinel just gave a light tug. The guide suddenly fell right into the wolf's den. He struggled nervously a few times. He was about to get out immediately. Why, you better not mess around. The domineering, loyal sentinel gently stroked the guide's flowing black hair. His voice was low and rich. I am indeed still hungry, but not to the point of losing my mind. The flowing black strands were swiftly gathered in his hands and tied into a high ponytail. Before the guide could react, the sentinel had already pulled him into his arms. Just thinking about those guys staring at his own guide, with those hungry, covetous eyes, made the man feel suffocated. Maybe I should help you release some stress. Bai Yusheng's eyelid twitched. This guy was insane. Then I will hold out until the mission's over. Ji Shuyan draped a coat over Bai Yusheng, wrapping him up tightly from head to toe. Then he grabbed his hand and said, Let us go. Treated like property by the sentinel, the powerless guide bit his lip in defiance, silently wishing all these sentinels would just explode on the spot. The captain of Team 2, who had been waiting at the rendezvous point for a long time, Gao Shu, looked thoroughly displeased. Took you long enough. The nearby guide, Lin Yan, glanced at his expression, looking a bit unstable. Maybe you should get some counseling first, Tilda. Recalling the other's counseling methods, the dark-skinned sentinel's face flushed instantly. I am perfectly stable now. I do not need a guide. Who can't fight or protect themselves? Just do not drag me down. After speaking, they finally saw the long-awaited person. The first to catch their eye was Bai Yusheng. Look at him, wearing a long, knee-length coat. He looked just like a model stepping out of a fashion magazine. Is that outfit for walking the runway? Ji Shuyan's gaze was cold and sharp as a blade. Didn't I tell you to watch your mouth? A curse word restlessly caught in my throat. Gao Shu's eyes quickly swept behind Ji Shuyan. Seeing the kid was not there, his concern instantly disappeared. A loud fuck slipped out. A loud fuck slipped out. Just stay buried in your mental porn. Watch me in action when the mission starts later. But the man did not take his words seriously at all. The ignored dark-skinned sentinel immediately started cursing under his breath. Ji Shuyan, stop pretending. I am just 2S level mission ratings away from surpassing you. You are bound to lose. Suddenly, a tingling sensation came from his arm. In the next moment, all his irritation quickly subsided. Lin Yan, the guide, blinked her bright, glistening eyes. Her tone was playful. Calm down Tilda, we are about to set off Tilda. Ah, such a sweet smell. Everyone is already assembled here. Ji Shuyan told the team member to give him the car keys. Are you driving there yourself? The team member curiously glanced at the blonde guide beside him. And this person next to you is? Ji Shuyan gave a brief introduction. He is Bai Yusheng, the guide who is joining the team tomorrow. The team member asked in surprise, tomorrow? If he has not joined the team yet, wouldn't taking him along break the rules? In response, the Sentinel boldly declared, he is my exclusive guide, I make the call. Hearing that, the team member could not help but wonder if his senses were overloaded. Was he hallucinating? At that moment, the pink-haired one following behind waved her arms and shouted, Captain, let me ride with you. The man coldly threw out a single word scram. Then he drove off without looking back. Throughout the ride, Bai Yusheng stared out the window in silence. The Sentinel driving asked if he would ever encountered pollutants before. Are you giving me the silent treatment? Bai Yusheng hurried back. He watched the interview on TV. You are not the kind of person who cares about your teammates. I thought it would be enough just to help you with emotional guidance. Why do you keep wanting to talk to me? To that, the Sentinel said, how could two people who'll spend their lives together not talk? But the beautiful guide did not want her sister to growing up in danger. The car drives into the tunnel. The Sentinel places his large hand over the guide's tense one, promising softly, I won't let you or Shishi fall into danger. Bai Yusheng pulls his hand back. But I hate Sentinels. It is enough if I am the only one who sacrifices. Shishi can grow up and live like an ordinary person. It is my only wish. The Sentinel lets out a quiet laugh. How could a person have only one wish? Human beings are a collection of countless desires. The more we want, the more desires will grow. Otherwise, pollutants would never have come into existence. The two soon arrive in the Haining Road area. Su Yiki has already been waiting there for them. The logistics troops have already sealed off the new contaminated zone. The nearby residents have also been relocated to safe areas. More than just the official defense force showed up today. Some private teams came as well, like NEWKEY. Is that the company led by the S-Class guide? As the two were talking, a hesitant voice softly slipped in. Bai Yusheng's eyes were filled with doubt and curiosity. Can a guide be a team leader too? NEWKEY can. The Sentinel's strong palm responded to him. Members of Team 2 started arriving one after another. The dark-skinned Sentinel still had his usual bad temper. There are a bunch of contamination zones in the central district. And he insisted on handling the same case with me. Ji Shuyan is clearly going against me. So annoying. Your mental state is so unstable every day. No wonder you drain your guides so quickly. Hype explodes like a powder keg at the slightest spark. It is obviously those guides who are not strong enough. Lin Yan suddenly turned around and blocked his way. What are you trying to do again? I am going to teach you some manners. The other teammates calmly walked around the two bickering people. Lin Yan merely raised her hand to release her guide pheromones. The dark-skinned Sentinel instantly fell apart. She ordered Gao Shu to apologize to all the guides right now. Count to 3 if you do not apologize. I will have you on the ground immediately. Of course, if you want to lose me. Now go ahead and act foolish in front of me. In the end, the dark-skinned Sentinel lowered his head and admitted his mistake. This scene fell into Bai Yusheng's eyes, as if a new world had opened before him. A guide scolding a Sentinel. That man is the captain of NEWKEY, Lu Yuneng. Bai Yusheng was the first to speak his name, and the instant the person across saw him, was also one of great shock. Sheng. The moment their eyes met, Lu Yuneng realized what was happening, and wrapped his arms tightly around him. His voice was filled with joy and disbelief. What are you doing here? The Sentinel beside him instantly went pale, his face dark as the bottom of a pot. That familiar formula tilde. It is the sign the captain's about to lose it. Ji Shuyan forcefully shoved away the man occupying the beautiful guide. Then he questioned Bai Yusheng about how they knew each other. Lu Yuneng said he was more curious to know why Sheng was with him. Sheng, even he has not called me something that intimate. Who gave you permission to sound so familiar? Lu Yuneng grabbed Bai Yusheng's wrist. He pulled him out of the Sentinel's arms. Come with me. Su Yiki hurried to stop him. He is a guide from the Central Defense Force. Please let go of him. Today's top priority is to deal with the new contaminated zone. We will talk about everything else after the mission. Okay. And what if I refuse? At that moment, other NEWKEY members walk over. Captain, do you need our help? No need. Wait for me at the gate of the contaminated zone first. Anxiety and concern mix on Lu Yunheng's face. I have been looking for you all these years, but you hide yourself too well. I need to have a proper talk with you. Oh right, where's Shishi? Before Bai Yusheng could respond, the tall Sentinel suddenly hoisted him up. No comment. The Central Defense Squad has a mission today. No time to chat. Where are you taking Sheng? Lu Yuneng tries to catch up but his way is blocked. Yan Ziu kindly tells him, Bai Yusheng has already joined the Central Defense Unit. He won't be going to NEWKEY. Lu Yuneng does not believe Bai Yusheng joined willingly. Yan Ziu's face turned cold as he leaned in closer. President Lu, the person we want, you would better not even think about. Meanwhile, the beautiful guide was slung over the Sentinel's shoulder, not knowing where he would finally put her down. Looks like you are hiding quite a few secrets on you. Bai Yusheng had never intended to conceal anything. You know my constitution best. Is it so strange for a guide like me to have secrets? Ji Shuyan frowned. What exactly is your relationship with Lu Yuneng? Bai Yusheng turned his face away. Why should I tell you? When it comes down to it, you and I are just partners. The sentinel slammed his fist against the wall. Bai Yusheng did not answer. In his eyes, that silence was consent. So you really want to leave with him? Hearing that, Bai Yusheng stopped hiding his feelings. That night when I saved you, it was a mistake from the very start. Before he could finish speaking, the sentinel pulled him tightly into an embrace. His voice was cold, carrying an undeniable authority. I will never let go. You are mine. Bai Yusheng's body suddenly went rigid. He was shocked to discover that the person before him, a sentinel known for his strength, was actually trembling. Ji Shuyan lowered his head and buried his face in the guide's neck. His voice was low and restrained, with a dangerous kind of obsession. I will never hand over what is mine. You would better abandon any thought of escaping from me. You belong to me and me alone. That domineering and blunt declaration was more like Haruto's confession. Bai Yusheng sensed that the man's mental field became unstable in an instant. He took off his gloves. All right, I am not leaving. Right now, calming down this Black Panther is the priority. It is probably the Sentinel's sensory threshold. That has been right at the overload limit. He has not had proper system relief for a long time. The soothing over the past couple of days can't truly bring it back to a stable line. Bai Yusheng just felt a throbbing pain in his head. The Sentinel suddenly tightened his grip on his wrist. I want you to promise never to leave me. Bai Yusheng lowered his eyes. I promise I won't leave for now. Not for now, forever. The Sentinel forcefully pulled the guide into his arms. The next moment, he roughly lifted his face. Stop losing your mind. We are right next to the contaminated zone. You are pushing yourself to the breaking point, and making the situation escalate even further. Aren't you the strongest S-class Sentinel? Seeing you act so childish right now, how am I supposed to believe you can protect me and Shishi? Ji Shuyan looked as if he would been struck awake with a club. Suddenly, he calmed down. He turned his face and nuzzled the guide's soft palm. If I steady myself, you have to reward me. Wow, looks like only a beautiful guide can tame a sentinel like him. That is really addictive, Tilda. Bai Yusheng told him to finish dealing with the contamination zone first. He still had to hurry back to take care of Shishi. Who would have thought the sentinel would turn into a loyal dog? But what is on his mind right now is the reward. The guide rarely shows a look of disdain. Did you suddenly become childish, or have you always been like this? The loyal dog does not care about that. He wants a reward, a reward. The guide massages his aching forehead. Can we talk about it when we get back? The loyal dog nods in compromise. All right then, I will ask for another reward when we get back. Then we would better finish the mission quickly. Right after that, they set out together for the contaminated zone. Ji Shuyan handed Bai Yusheng a pistol. He reminded him to stay close. The closer they got to the contamination core, the more obvious the environmental effects became. Be careful not to touch that slime. It can corrode straight through human bones. Ji Shuyan carefully explained everything to Bai Yusheng. Walking behind them, Yan Ziyu asked Suyiki, don't you want to know what it feels like to be soothed by that little cat? He is not just any ordinary S-class guide. In a way, he is the antidote for all sentinels. In other words, an angel Tilda. If angels truly existed in this world, Kij, what do you think their situation would be? If there were countless angels, people would naturally worship them. But if there were only one, I think people would behave like beasts and wish to tear them apart alive. Suyiki's expression grew solemn. The captain will protect him. That made the pink-haired one burst out laughing and tease him. The little kitten is an angel. And Brother Chi, you are a saint. As soon as he finished speaking, his neck suddenly tightened. Don't think you can say whatever you want just because everyone dotes on you. Genius is a compliment others gave you, not a free pass. Don't let me hear such immature remarks from you again. So sour Tilda Pinky's jealous now, huh? Even more sour when it comes to doting on the captain. Ji Shuyan, walking ahead, suddenly halted. He raised his hand, signaling everyone to stop. A faint sound came from the corner of the wall. A paw slowly reached out. Bai Yusheng's fingers tightened unconsciously around his gun. Contaminant. The towering figure of the sentinel blocked his way. His voice carried an overwhelming sense of safety and strength. Don't be afraid. A twisted claw reached out from the corner. Sharp nails scraped against the ground with a piercing screech. Bai Yusheng's pupils contracted, his body tensing. It was his first time facing a contaminant directly, but Ji Shuyan beside him remained perfectly calm. Dozens of tentacles surged forward like a black tide. The sentinel pulled the guide into his arms, shielding him protectively. His gaze locked onto the pollutant launching the attack. He suddenly raised his hand. A torrent of raging mental power came crashing down. A torrent of raging mental power came crashing down. The pollutant instantly shattered into countless broken limbs. The guide froze, stunned by the scene. So powerful. This is the strongest sentinel of the Central Defense Force. Noticing the beautiful guide's burning gaze, the sentinel asked if he was afraid. No. I just want to know what I can do. Hearing this, Ji Shuyan's lips curved into a slight smile. Learn. The novice guide widened their eyes, looking a bit confused. Destroying only the non-core body of the contaminants won't wipe them out. Don't take them lightly, and do not overestimate yourself. Letting your guard down makes it easy for them to strike back. Letting your guard down makes it easy for them to strike back. Staring at the debris scattered all over the ground, Bai Yusheng looked horrified. Staring at the debris scattered all over the ground, Bai Yusheng looked horrified. It was as if he had seen something even more terrifying. A hallucination seemed to echo in his ears. You should not exist. A threat. Eliminate. Completely eliminate. Bai Yusheng felt his stomach churn violently. Seeing this, the man immediately steadied him by the shoulders. He gently patted his back to help him breathe easier. Calm down, I am here. Once Bai Yusheng caught his breath, he quickly asked, how do you lock onto the core area of a contaminant? Generally speaking, attacking the head is effective in eliminating them, but contaminants above grade A usually possess intelligence. They will hide their core area. No sooner had the words left his mouth, than a deafening explosion suddenly erupted nearby. The ground shook slightly. Everyone tensed up instantly. Their eyes were fixed on the explosion, full of vigilance. Lu Yuneng stepped forward without hesitation. We will cover the rear, you keep moving. With that, his gaze fell on Bai Yusheng, held tightly by the Sentinel. Then, resolutely, he turned and led his team forward. Bai Yusheng's face was full of worry. Beside him, Yan Ziyu told him that Newkey was very strong. You do not need to worry. Just then, a sharp claw, carrying the force of thunder, struck toward the Sentinel. But it froze mid-air, stopping abruptly. The Sentinel let out a disdainful sneer. Without even turning his head, he reached out and grabbed. The claws instantly shattered into countless fragments. Ji Shuyan ordered Su Yiki in a deep voice to begin reconnaissance. In an instant, a dark shadow sprang from Su Yiki's shoulder, soaring straight into the sky. It was the dark gold falcon, his spirit form, ripping through the sky like lightning. Ji Shuyan clasped his guide's hand tightly and gestured to keep moving forward. The thunderous explosions rumbled on without end. He glanced at the severed limb on the ground, still twitching. Bai Yusheng could not help but ask, is this caused by the hand itself? Yes, this is the entrance. Of course, some also call it the Gate of Hell. Just then, Team 2's Gao Shu spoke through the transmitter. They discovered an entrance behind the building. Su Yiki said they had also found. Yan Ziyu raised an eyebrow, curious. What kind of grievance did this pollution brother suffer that made him so desperate? The towering Gate of Hell stood outside the building. With every step Bai Yusheng took closer, it felt as if an invisible hand was gripping his heart. A voice seeped out from the void, cursing like a snake hissing its venom. You were never meant to exist. A threat. Eliminate. Completely eradicate. You are a calamity. As the other team members stepped one by one into the Gate of Hell, Ji Shuyan turned and noticed something strange about the guide. What is wrong? Bai Yusheng murmured, it is okay. Was that just his imagination just now? The man clenched his palm. After eliminating the core, the polluted area will gradually recover after cleanup. Didn't you say you did not want Shishi to grow up in danger? If the pollutants are not completely eradicated, there will never be a truly safe place in this world. Protecting Shishi is not about hiding. A shiver runs through Bai Yusheng's heart. Then they step together through the gates of hell, entering the world within the contamination zone. Suddenly, a twisted figure breaks through the barrier. Beneath its tailored suit, several tentacles whip wildly above its head. Yan Ziyu only sneers. With a gentle motion, his mental power surged from his palm. A golden-maned lion rose into the air from his body. Scarlet fluid fell like raindrops. In the span of a single breath, the Sentinel had already become a blur and charged into the horde of monsters. Su Yiki was long used to such scenes. Captain, he is ignoring orders again and acting on his own. I will punish him afterward. Then I take out a sniper rifle. I lock on the target, then bang, a single shot rings out. The monster collapses instantly. Pink hair, covered in splattered fluid, grits her teeth hard. Brother Chi, I really owe you one. At that moment, Pink hair is still fighting the contaminant R. She realizes what her captain is about to do. San hurriedly shouted, wait a second. With a soft pop, the monster instantly crumbled into pieces. The pink-haired one failed to dodge and looked even more embarrassed. Bai Yusheng obediently followed the man upstairs. It made the pink-haired one furious. Is the captain still mad at him for bullying the little kitten? Such a petty man. Upstairs. Kij, you saw that, right? This time the captain's getting back at me. Look at me, I am covered in blood. Su Yiki calmly reminded him. To keep his battle urge under control, your mental drive is already becoming unstable. The pink-haired guy did not take it seriously. He just brushed it off. It is fine, did not we bring the little kitten along Tilda? He is the captain's exclusive guide, but regular emotional guidance is the basis. Duty and responsibility of all guides. He can't just interfere with the guide's work, right? Su Yiki did not want to deal with him anymore, but the pink-haired guy was relentlessly pestering. Lieutenant Yan Ziyu, do your job properly. Su Yiki was clearly at the end of her patience. Bai Yusheng looked on, feeling a bit embarrassed. He thought, this guy's getting scolded again. Suddenly, a faint cry for help reached his ears. It made him freeze for a moment. Are there still residents who have not been evacuated? He told Ji Shuyan that he heard someone calling for help. In the contamination zone, do not trust what you see. Squish. Bai Yusheng stepped on something. The sticky sensation made his body tense up. The cry for help echoed in the air. Click, the door opposite was pushed open. A man stumbled and fell to the ground. He struggled to lift himself, his face pale, his voice weak and urgent. Help, please help me.